welcome to the Learning is Changeless, the web series in which I discuss all of the things that I would like to change in education and technology in order to create an engine for authentic learning. Today I wanted to respond to the last video that Sid had posted, where she said we should be done with the discussion of what educational vlogging could be about and really get to the meat of the matter, which is actually talking about educational technology and what we're passionate about in changing education. So that's definitely what I want to do, and I'm going to hopefully give a pretty good challenge today. The thing that I would like to change is the interchangeability and the anonymity of teachers within education. When I was teaching 7th and 8th grade English, and this is the part where I'm actually talking about my story and where I sort of came from, because that decreases my anonymity and lessens my interchangeability in terms of being a teacher and even a learner. So when I started teaching, I definitely felt as though I was a new teacher, and in that it was any new teacher would have done the exact same things that I was going to do, and there was this sort of breaking in period, which in any job that's going to occur. But I felt as though there was something that I could do that would be different and unique enough to actually break the boundaries a little bit of what a first-year teacher could do. In the first year I was teaching in 2004, I started blogging with my kids. Blogger had been out for really not very long. I think it was 2003 maybe, but it was before Google had bought it, and I started blogging with my kids and doing essay writing and things like that. And at the time, there just weren't a lot of teachers who were doing that, and the community that sort of cropped up around educational blogging and people like Carl Fish and Bud Hunt, who both happened to be in Colorado, but those were the people that I gravitated toward because they were doing a lot of reflection on their practice and things like that. And so got involved with those folks and started seeing the potential not only for my students to write, but for myself to write as well. And as my sort of toolkit expanded, it expanded because there was greater need, and not because it was, there was some aspect that it was, hey, look at this cool shiny new thing, but for the most part it had more to do with I wanted a more authentic environment for myself and for the kids that I was working with. And as I moved on into a district role for online learning and started to think through other environments than a traditional classroom, that's where it really started to dawn on me how much of a learner I had become and needed to continue to sort of foster. And in doing that, I became less and less anonymous. I became less and less interchangeable with other educators, just because I was able to sort of find hopefully a fairly unique voice for what I was doing, and to me that's actually the thing that is going to propel this conversation, is the fact that we are doing this semi face-to-face. You see me and can talk about these things, but in a way, by doing that, we become less anonymous and less interchangeable. The things that I am reflecting about are going to be different than the things that others are reflecting about and doing in their own environments. And so the concept of being sort of either a cog or a new teacher or a veteran teacher, and you can just kind of move people around the way that almost every single year, you get a new course load, or there's new leadership and things are moved around, or even you just start working on different projects. The the concept that that I think we need to come into our own on is making sure that that unique voice of every single teacher and I think learner, that unique voice comes through. And it's one thing to say we're all unique and we all do things differently, and it's another thing to actually reflect on that that perspective and that uniqueness, and actually capitalize on it and become unique within a profile. So I guess the change that I'm most interested in seeing is this much more expanded profile of who you are as a teacher, and that's why I'm introducing myself, and I'm sure we'll get further into that. But that concept, the closest that I've seen is something like Clout, where you can put sort of all of your profiles up there, and you can see sort of bits and pieces of the things that really resonated with your community. These are the things that were, liked so many times, or linked to so many times, or different things like that. And actually, I think that concept of a profile that follows us and shows the things that we have done, and obviously it's a portfolio and things like that, but the thing I want to change, and the thing that's on the change list, meaning the learning list, the things that I want to be learning about and creating and things like that, is that teachers and learners, and I'm sure we'll get into the learning side of things too, the kids and adult learners and things like that, but that they should not be anonymous, and they should not be interchangeable with one another. And by treating them as anonymous or interchangeable, it lessens the possibility for greater learning, for greater transfer from one subject or discipline to another, because you're just saying, oh, you are a specialist in this, you can then do that anywhere, and it will be the same as anyone who is a specialist in this can be that elsewhere. So that's the change list item for today. Comment below if you would like, or subscribe and become a part of this reflective practice vlogging. We did just set up a Google Plus community for it, which I'll link to in the description. So good. I'll talk to you later.